Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the IHSA Board of Directors, their administrative staff, the IHSA Track and Field Advisory Committee, and the administration and staff of Eastern Illinois University, welcome to O'Brien Stadium for the first day of the 120th Boys State Final Track and Field Meet. Our competition is conducted under rules and regulations adopted by the IHSA member schools. Sport a winning attitude and practice good sportsmanship today. Remember, attitude is for everyone. Enjoy the spring spectacular. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you all please rise. If you would, face the colors of the United States and join with us as Charleston High School senior Zara Casey sings our national anthem. Zara Casey, ladies and gentlemen. You'll see her in just a few minutes. At this time, if I may direct your attention to the 25-yard line, where it is my privilege to introduce to you the man in charge of interscholastic competition, track and field, cross country in Illinois, the Assistant Executive Director of the Illinois High School Association, Mr. Ron McGraw.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to welcome you here to lovely O'Brien Field on this beautiful morning as we celebrate the track and field championships for our boys 2A, 3A meets today. We do appreciate your attendance and know that you'll support these young men in a very positive fashion. I would like to take the opportunity while I'm here to thank a couple of hundred individuals who are here this weekend working as officials and volunteers, non-paid. I say it every time I get a chance. Remember that these folks are paying for their own hotels and their own food and their own transportation. They're here to make sure that these young men have a fair opportunity to compete and walk away with an experience of a lifetime. They stood here yesterday through a 4.5-hour delay, and when I needed them to come back, they were right here. So would you help me, join me in thanking them for their help this weekend? It is our tradition at our championships that we have our meet referee read a sportsmanship statement. At this time, I'll introduce to you from Edwards, Mr. Jamero Rainey, our meet referee.
Thank you, Ron. Good morning, everyone. The Illinois High School Association requires officials to enforce sportsmanship rules. Athletes, coaches, officials, and spectators all have a part to play in this process. High school athletics emphasize the positive values we all have worked hard to create: a sense of teamwork, respect, responsibility, and perspective. All attributes of good sportsmanship shared by competitors who demonstrate this good behavior. We encourage and appreciate your assistance in promoting sportsmanship and we hope this competition will reflect the mutual respect of all parties. Good luck and have a great meet.
We'll be bringing our 4x8s out here on the track in just a minute. Our schedule will be 9 o'clock start. We do have a schedule in the program that we will try very hard to adhere to. It's important that everyone understands, however, that if the weather should turn, we will need to make an adjustment to that, and we'll do that. If we do that, we'll certainly let you know that that's the case. I will ask you now that here we are in Charleston, Southern Illinois, and this time of year the weather is very unpredictable. It jumped up yesterday and stopped us for quite a while. At the point in time when we had to stop it, we let the fans know that there was a lightning delay, and we asked that they leave the stadium. That will be expected of you today. Should that happen, it's for your safety. We will certainly appreciate your cooperation. You may go to your car, you may go to Lance Fieldhouse, but you will need to leave the stadium. Our athletes and coaches will be removed from the track and likely taken to Lance Field. So with that, I appreciate when the time comes, should it come, and we hope it doesn't, that you're willing to cooperate with us. I want to introduce someone to you that you haven't seen yet. You heard her sing just a second ago, but this is Zara Casey. She's our young lady that just sang the anthem. It's very difficult to speak down here because there's a long delay. I wanted you to thank her for what she did for us this morning. Congratulations, you did a great job.
Thank you.
You know, inside down there. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll turn it over to Mr. Piesinski, the voice of IHSA Track and Field, and bring our 4x8s out here in just a second. Have a wonderful day. We appreciate your attendance.
Eight teams in the field. And here we go with the break. We've got Lake Park on the outside. Jeremy Lorenzo.
Nequa on the rail.
Nequa is on the rail.
And Downers North.
Downers North from the West Suburban. They're the silver division of the West Suburban. Tony Zay runs for Downers. Hersey now in fourth. They're in the bright orange. They're also the section leader. They ran 7:50 and 56 last week. Here comes H.D. Jacobs, the Golden Eagles, now challenging for fourth. They're about 56 seconds on the leaders. And Lake Park still in front. Downers North. Hersey now at the rail. And now moving into third. That's Jacobs. Running for Jacobs. We've got Matt Goldby. Lake Park and Downers North. Jeremy Lozano running for the Lancers. And for Downers Grove North, Tony Zay. Lake Park and Downers North. Jacobs in third. Hersey in fourth. Hersey runs Kevin Kovach. And they come to the first exchange. 155 even, it looks like, on the first runners. And that's still Lake Park.
And Downers
And Downers North running for Lake Park, Matt Miarka. And for Downers North, Jack Diamond. Ileana, coach to the dugout, please. Ileana, coach to the dugout. Running for Jacobs, we've got Corey Albrecht.
I think he said Antioch coach.
Antioch coach to the dugout. Correction, that's Antioch coach to the dugout, please. And
This guy's in third.
as East Moline United. East Moline now into third. That's Paul Russell Bohr running for East Moline United. He's in third. But Lake Park still your leader. Downers Grove North in second. East Moline in third. Final call, Class 3A shot put. Flights 3 and 4. Flights 3 and 4 of 3A shot put. And back to the race. We have Lake Park, still your leader. Matt Miarka. Downers North runs Zach Diamond. And the gap closes. East Moline United in third. That's Paul Russell Bohr. Paul Russell Bohr running third for the Panthers. Here comes Nequa Valley and Hersey at the halfway mark. 3:52 at the halfway mark. Outstanding time in this preliminary competition. On to the third leg. Lucas Breaker running for the Lancers of Lake Park. Downers Grove North runs Zach Christensen. East Moline United still in third. And Kyle Rigi, he's a sophomore. Nequa Valley now moves into fourth. Running for Nequa Valley, Nick Rayfast. Hersey is fifth. Jacobs is sixth. Running for Hersey, Matt Deeney. But Lake Park, they've got about a 15-meter lead. Nequa Valley coming up quickly. Downers North, East Moline United, Nequa, Hersey. Those are your top five. 300 meters left in this third leg. That's Lake Park still out in front, extending a lead. East Moline still holding on to second. That's Tyler Rigi running for East Moline. Nequa Valley running the third leg, Nick Rayfis. For Nequa, Downers North drops to fourth with Zach Christensen.
Let's make a first call for the 4x100.
First call for the 4x100. First call. Here comes Nequa Valley to the final exchange. It's Lake Park, Nequa Valley, East Moline United, Downers Grove North, and Hersey. Let's check in on the anchors. This race has tightened considerably. That's still Lake Park. Eric Dade, a senior, running the anchor for the Lancers. Nequa now moves to second. And Nequa on the anchor, they run Ty Moss. He's a junior. East Moline United, they run Tyler Rasso. Tyler Rasso running for East Moline. And Downers Grove North, they run Ryan Clevenger. The veteran Ryan Clevenger with one to go. We'll watch those first four teams. We remember Hersey had the fastest seat time at 7:50.56 from this group. last week. Now challenging for the lead, we've got Lake Park on the rail, Nequa Valley running stride for stride, Clevenger of Downers North, followed by East Moline United. 200 meters remain. It's Nequa Valley. Ty Moss taking the lead, 150 meters. Now 100 meters. Ty Moss, Nequa Valley. It's Lake Park, and here comes Clevenger of Downers North. It's Ty Moss of Nequa. Here comes Clevenger of Downers North. Eric Dade of Lake Park. East Moline United on the anchor, Tyler Rasso. Here comes Hersey.
Jacobs right behind.
And Jacobs to the finish. Hersey, then Jacobs, and the Mustangs of Morton. 7:47.63 on Nequa Valley. 7:49.89 on Downers Grove North. 7:49.13 on Lake Park. 7:51.23 on East Moline United.
Here comes Danville.
And coming home is Danville, the Vikings of Danville. The final 80 meters of preliminary heat 1. Once again, we've got 8 teams.
Crystal South.
On the very inside, that's Chicago Jones at the break. Kevin Johnson, the senior, runs for Chicago Jones. Lyons Township on the outside, Ed McCarter and Hinsdale Central. Hinsdale Central runs Kevin Huang. There's 2 teams from the Silver Division of the West Suburban Conference in DuPage County. They're holding their own. Chicago Jones at the rail.
That is Lyons Township on the rail. And Plainfield South.
Plainfield South coming up. I believe Plainfield South in the striped outfits.
Jones are in 6.
They're the Cougars.
They're the Cougars from Plainfield South.
Still Lions and Hinsdale leading the way.
5 teams in that first pack, all tight. Lions and Hinsdale Central. We got the Gators of Crystal Lake South on the outside.
And Carl Sandberg.
Carl Sandberg.
120 at the
Flight 2 triple jump. Please report to the North Pit. Flight 2 of the triple jump. And here comes Carl Sandberg. Chris Torpy of Carl Sandberg. Lyons Township, Ed McCarter. Hinsdale Central, Kevin Huang, as they make the first exchange. That's Sandberg, Carl Sandberg, the Eagles on the inside, and running in the blue over black, running in the blue and white, that's Lyons Township. Tom Brennan runs for the Eagles of Sandberg, and for LaGrange Lions, Dan Lupano. Lupano, a senior. Hinsdale Central in the white over red. Trent Highland, he's in third right now. Plainfield South, running on the second leg, John Partey. And then it's Crystal Lake South, Kyle Radosevich. One lap remaining to the halfway mark. Second call, 4 by 100 meter relay. Teams, please report to the tent. Second call for the 4 by 100 meter relay teams. Now it opens up just a bit. We've got Carl Sandberg, followed by Lyons Township. Hinsdale, here comes Crystal Lake South. Kyle Radosevich running for Crystal Lake. Leader from Carl Sandberg, Tom Brennan, the sophomore. Here comes Lyons Township. It's Sandberg and Lyons. Here comes Hinsdale Central. Crystal Lake South, followed by Plainfield South. At the halfway mark, it's now Lyons Township with a great exchange. Ben Gothrop runs for the Lions. And Sandberg, the Eagles run Sean Torpy. Sean is a sophomore. Hinsdale Central runs another sophomore, Nathan Hill. And then we look at Crystal Lake South. Freshman John Pruss runs for the Gators. They will be followed by Plainfield South's Bailey Zink. Lyons Township. And Sandberg making a bit of a move, followed by Hinsdale, followed by Crystal Lake South, Plainfield South. Here comes Sandberg back into the mix. Sandberg, the fastest seed time of this heat at 7:47.56. They're your section leaders. Torpy into the lead. That's Sean Torpy, the sophomore for Sandberg. Ben Gothrop for Lyons Township, still in second. For Hinsdale Central, Nathan Hill, they're still in third. And Jones is coming up. Chicago Jones, Will Sarchet running for Chicago Jones to the final exchange. 5:49, that's Carl Sandberg with 800 meters remaining. Matt Hetzler runs for the Eagles. On the anchor leg for Lyons Township, it's Alex Lima. And Hinsdale Central runs Jake Hall. There's your top three. And here comes Crystal Lake Central, Crystal Lake South now into fourth. Jordan Zekin running the anchor for the Gators. And Chicago Jones, Kyle Maloney. And they're followed by Plainfield South. 500 meters remain. Matt Hetzler. Matt Hetzler, Lyons Township. Alex Lima. Here comes Crystal Lake South. Sandberg has a commanding lead. Now it's Lyons. They're being challenged for second by Crystal Lake South. They're followed by Hinsdale Central, Chicago Jones, and Plainfield South. and then Oswego East. And that's the entire field. 200 meters remain. From the south suburbs in Orland Park, it's Carl Sandberg's Matt Hetzler with 100 meters. Carl Sandberg on the final straightaway, Lyons Township. Alex Lima in second. Crystal Lake South, Dave Lenzini running now in third to the finish. 7:46 on Carl Sandberg. It's Lyons Township, Crystal Lake South, Hinsdale Central, Plainfield South, Chicago Jones, and Oswego East. That's the field in Heat 2 of 3. New Trier has the fastest sectional time, 7:43.65. Nine teams in this preliminary heat. And it's Lincoln Way Central from the pole position at the break. I believe that's St. Charles North at the rail. Barrington also on the outside. Running for Barrington in the red over black, that's Adam Phillips. Batavia's in second on the outside. Alex Bala runs for the Bulldogs. New Lenox on the opening leg runs Ben Zabricki. And it's New Trier from Winnetka, Chase Silverman. Silverman now 57 seconds and into the lead for the Trevians. Batavia is in second right now in the red over black. Lincoln Way Central battling with Batavia. Lane Tech now moves into second. David Schmidt runs for Lane Tech. David Schmieg, a senior running for the Indians from the city of Chicago.
So David Schmieg.
Lane into the lead. It's Lane Tech of Chicago, the Indians, followed by New Trier, followed by Prospect. And coming on the outside in the white over black, Lane Tech is in front. Badia.
Watch for Normal West in that, okay?
New Trier is second. New Trier runs on the second leg. Ted O, a sophomore. They're out in front of the group. Now we've got a group of 6. Here comes Prospect to the outside in the all white. And that's William Lussenhop, a senior running for the Knights of Prospect. He's leading that second group. It's Lane and New Trier. Prospect now, St. Charles. And Glenbard West, the Hilltoppers. Lincoln Way and Batavia, they follow in that second group. They're about 18 meters back. Badia of Lane Tech, he's leading New Trier's Ted O. Now O into the lead for the Trevians. That's New Trier, Lane Tech on the backstretch. St. Charles North, the North Stars, they're in third right now. That's Steve Lewandowski and it's Glenbard West. Ben Hecht. Now Glenbard into third. The Hilltoppers into third. Ben Hecht. And now the field tightens a bit. And we've got New Trier. Here comes Glenbard West. New Trier, Glenbard West. Lane Tech. St. Charles North. Followed by Barrington. There's the field.
So we have New Trier.
New Trier, your leader, Connor Trapp, the senior. Lane Tech now into second. That's John Vara. He's also a senior, followed by Glenbard West. Jake Jakowiak running for the Hilltoppers. Running for the Hilltoppers. Now the North Stars, St. Charles North, Chris Suda. He's in fourth. Barrington appears to be in fifth. Barrington runs Tyler Anderson. Anderson's a junior. They're now in fifth. Prospect drops to sixth. And they're chasing Vara in second. To the bell. That's New Trier.
New Trier extending their lead over Lane Tech.
That was the 5-minute mark that they passed.
Making a move here is St. Charles North.
St. Charles North on this third leg into second, followed by Glenbard West. Glenbard West, that's Hecht. Vara in third. Connor Trapp running for New Trier. Here comes New Trier to the anchor lap, to the anchor man, Luke Duros, and Lane Tech on the anchor. They're running Pavlo Hutsalov. Hutsalov runs for Lane Tech. It's Barrington into third. That's Connor Ehring, the junior, running for the Broncos. New Trier, Lane Tech, Barrington, 1, 2, 3. Glenbard West in 4.
It's tightening up now. Here comes Pablo trying to make a move.
And the field of the top 3 begins to tighten.
That's Pablo.
Pavlo Halustalek now challenging for the lead. It's New Trier and Lane. Now Lane takes the lead with 400 meters remaining. It's Lane Tech, New Trier, Barrington, Hinsdale Central, and then they're followed by Prospect. And New Trier now into the lead. 200 meters remain. It's New Trier and Lane Tech. Hustelek to the outside.
Can't gain.
Running for New Trier, Peter Katsirilis. So it's Glenbard, it's New Trier and Lane Tech. Barrington in third. Here they come. New Trier, Lane Tech. It's Barrington.
And
Glenbard West.
And
St. Charles North.
And Batavia.
Batavia and Prospect.
Korchevsky. Vladimir.
And 7:47.54 on New Trier. And we look for Lane Tech's time. We're still waiting. We've got Normal Community West just finishing. Flight 3 triple jump, please report. Chicago lanes time 7:48.8.
We hate to hear that sound.
Lane 5 is now open.
Lane 5 is now open. And a clean start this time around for the 4x100 meter relay. This is Bloomington, and we have Rochelle and Larkin out on the top. That is Larkin, followed by Bloomington out in lane number 6, and Lane Tech. That is Malik Hamilton for Lane Tech, and we go to the second exchange. Bloomington still there along with Lake Park Rochelle. Bloomington, the Raiders. This is Jonathan Warren handing off to Corey Ferguson. Ferguson now being chased by Anton Chenault of Lake Park, followed by Lane Tech. So we'll go Bloomington, Lake Park, Lane Tech. We'll go 6, 7, followed by 4. A great jump out in lane number 7 for Manuka. As you can see, the stagger is now being 8 alive. We go to the first exchange. Manuka followed by Schomburg in the middle. Now we have Shindal Thomas. The junior will be the anchor for Schomburg, but we go to the third leg, second exchange. Schomburg has a little problem with their exchange. On the inside is Belleville West and Manuka on the outside. We go to the exchange. Can he make it up here for Schomburg? And we move now well. This is Shindal Thomas of Schomburg trying to eat it up, but Manuka and Belleville West will go to the line. It's pretty close. We're going to go 1, 2, 4. I'm going to give it to Belleville West, followed by DeKalb. Correction, Manuka and Schomburg, a choppy exchange for their third leg, second exchange, but they made it up. We'll see if Thomas can keep his out there. It's 41-90 for Manuka. We need the coaches from Schomburg, please report to the dugout. Coaches from Schomburg, please report to the dugout. We go to the first exchange. They're all moving here. The Tigers are pretty in the lead. In the middle, that's Edwardsville. We move on the outside. They're still in the lead. Dukes are in the 5th spot. We go to the second exchange. The Tigers still galloping in the lead. That's Forest and still Edwardsville, Plainfield North. Oak Park is still in the mix for the Huskies. We go to the final exchange, the Tigers. It's pretty close exchange. Here comes the Tigers and the Huskies, but it looks like the Edwardsville and York is now moving into a strike position, but they'll let off the gas. We'll go Edwardsville, York, followed by Lake Forest. Once again, we need coaches from Schomburg. Please report to the dugout. It's not 4th of July yet, but you're going to see fireworks in the middle. Harvey Thornton, North Lawndale, and East St. And that is outstanding for, it looks like the Chicago, North Lawndale, the Phoenix. Here comes the purple of the Wildcats of Harvey Thornton, followed by the Rocks and East St. Louis, the Flyers. Flyers now in front. They're in the middle. They have the powder blue and white. And we go to the home stretch here for the anchors, East St. Boogie and Thornton. And here comes the Phoenix. That is Terry McGee, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a foot race. East St. Louis will fall. Thornton will get it, followed by the Phoenix. And then East St. Louis, we go again. Thornton. 41-88, Chicago, North Lawndale, 41-91, East St. Louis, 42-25, followed by the Brook, 42-69. Those are your top 4.
All right. And nice jump there for Thornton's Hunt. Tefonte Hunt of Harvey Thornton. Then on the inside, you got Wells of Fox Lake Grant. Session trying to stay up with them. It's still Harvey Thornton into the win. It's the Wildcats. Too hard to tell on second place after that. You had Jonathan Wells battling with Sessions. All right, Connor Dunham in the middle for the Wolfpack. St. Ignatius with a good start there for Dunham. And on the inside, it's very close. Looks like Ignatius held in there. Antonio Chanot for Lake Park. Starting out well, Manuka's Bailey right next to him. It is still Chanot. Bailey fouling hit his Corydon. It's still Chanot. 5 with the win. 5-6-4 is the way it looks. Chanot, Lake Park to the top of the field. All right, our final preliminary. Our state leader is James Craig of Edwardsville, and he has the lead in this race. Outside of him is Wiley of Bloom. It's going to go 5-6-4, and that last 110 hurdles. 5 is Craig James of Edwardsville. 6 is Jonah Wiley. Josh Farrar in the middle, but you've got Scotty Miller of Barrington out here in the 7 slot. Miller of Barrington. He really got out of the blocks without a hitch. Scotty Miller, Barrington, the apparent win, 10:66. Plainfield East in the middle. Jump is again on the outside with Walker. And you have McGee in there. Looks like we got an opening. It's going to go lane 7. And Titus Booker, Grays Lake North, with Terry McGee of North Lawndale. We didn't have majors in the middle for that race. Clean start. Henderson moving forward for Pekin. Thornton's Wesley right with him. And Rockford Auburn's Lopez. It's going to be Henderson. And Clanton pulled up for Harvey Thornton. He finishes the race.
And onto the track, heat 1 of 3 in the 800-meter run 3A competition. In Alley 1, we've got Evan Alcorn of Belleville West, Mitch Vollinger of Batavia, Nick Vukovic of Palatine Fremd, Brady McHugh of West Aurora. In Alley 2, Dave Lenzini of Crystal Lake South, Jack Peters of Glenbard East, Zach Gray of Moline, Tony Zay of Downers Grove North, Kevin Grahovic of Marmion Academy, Carl Clam of Evanston, and Blaine Bartell of Geneva.
The 9 qualifying athletes for the 100-meter dash in the 3A finals tomorrow will be in lane 1, Eric McMiller from Chicago Lane. In lane number 2, John Hayter from Park Ridge, Maine South. In lane 3, Juwan Wesley from Harvey Thornton. In lane 4, Titus Booker from Grays Lake North. In lane 5, Cole Henderson from Pekin. In lane 6, Scotty Miller from Barrington. In lane 7, Chandel Thomas from Schaumburg. In lane 8, Josh Farrar from New York, Elmhurst, York. And in lane number 9, Terry McGee from Chicago North Lawndale.
And back to the action, Blaine Bartell of Geneva. He is out in front at the rail. We've got Evan Alcorn of Belleville West and Dave Lenzini of Crystal Lake South. There's still 10 runners right there in that first pack. On the south curve. It's Bartell and Alcorn.
And 10 coming along the outside.
And Tony Zay of Downers North moving up. Zach Peters of Glenbard East.
10-8.
Now it's Downers North moves to the rail. That's Tony Zay. Now it's Crystal Lake South. Lenzini, Dave Lenzini. He's our number 2 seed from this first heat. Bartell ran 154.72. Here is Downers North. As he comes around, it's Tony Zay. Tony Zay. Here comes Evan Alcorn. Zay Alcorn. Zach Peters of Glenbard East and Blaine Bartell. Zay's time 156.14. He was our winner. Alcorn was second. And we look to the scoreboard. 156.37 on Alcorn. We've had a first call for the 4x200 meter relay and second call for the 4x200 meter relay.
34 after 234.
And we check the runners at the break.
11.
It's Kyle Hatton of Grant at the rail. He's followed by Bryce Richards of Mundelein. There's two teams from the North Suburban Conference, both in red. They're leading the pack. NUO is third. Homewood Flossmoor. So we've got red uniforms, 1, 2, 3. And then it's Plowman of York at the rail. He's sitting in fourth right now. And a tight field, 57 flat for the first 400. It's Kyle Hatton from Grant. He is still your leader at the rail. And Mundelein is now on his shoulder. That's Bryce Richards. He's in the silver over red. We've got Annual from Homewood Flossmoor in third. Plowman of York in fourth with 200 meters. Plowman now to third.
11 and 13.
So it's still Fox Lake. That's Hatton and Grant.
To the outside. To the
And it's Annuo to the lead. Homewood Flossmoor and Plowman. Annuo, Matt Annuo and Plowman. Matt Plowman. Annuo to the finish. Annuo, Plowman,
and then the 11 runner.
and Kyle Hatton of Grant. 154.85 on Annuo. Plowman is 155.39. Hatton was third at 155.8. Eleven competitors in this preliminary heat.
Ma, early leader.
At the break, that's Ma of Chicago Whitney Young.
And then the 12 runner.
And breaking from the outside, Ryan Wheaties of Batavia,
6 now up.
followed by Ty Moss of Nequa Valley.
And the Stevenson runner.
And from Stevenson in the North Suburban, it's Sam O.
Steve Berkey to the dugout, please. Steve Berkey to the dugout.
And on the inside, that's Nequa Valley.
Batavia.
That's Ty Moss. That's Batavia Ryan Wheaties. Now into the lead.
Steve Berkey to the dugout, please.
Steve Berkey to the dugout, please. Steve Berkey to the dugout.
Okay, that's the Batavia. Okay, no, it's 4. 4 in the lead.
Wes Schoenthal of Edwardsville now into the lead. Now Leverins of Danville.
To the front.
He's moving to the front. Leverins, Johnny Leverins. He had the fastest qualifying mark, 151 and 14. Johnny Leverins with 100 meters.
Valley time.
It's Nequa Valley. That's Ty Moss running in second. It's O of Stevenson making a move. And on the rail, Wes Schoenthal of Edwardsville. It's Nequa at the finish. Tyler Moss, 155.43. Leveren's 156.13. Schoenthal was third at 157.09.
And they're off clean start again in the 4x2. Tough to call here due to the stagger, but it looks like the Rock Island Rocks and Manuka out well here in the opening legs. And here we go to the first exchange. Looks like Manuka, followed by Barrington, the Broncos, and the Rocks of Rock Island. We'll see them as they come onto the home stretch out of the north curve. That is New Trier. And Manuka still in the lead due to the stagger. We go to the second exchange. Manuka. Rock Island Rocks had the baton off first, followed by Manuka and the Broncos. The New Trier is in there. Rock Island all alone on the backstretch. Manuka trying to close the gap. That looks like Joliet West with the pink armband on the left him through to the final exchange. Rock Island still in front. Manuka has some digging to do as they emerge as 1 and 2 out of the north curve, followed by Barrington on the inside. And here we go, Manuka and Rocks of Rock Island. Rock Island now back in front, followed by Manuka. Here comes the Broncos of Barrington. We're going to go to the finish. It's going to be pretty close, but we're going to go 7.54. 7.54 with that finish. The Rocks, Manuka, and Barrington. Another smooth start here for our second heat of the 4x2. We're going to go into the middle. Harvey Thornton in the purple in the middle of your screen, along with Oak Park and River Forest. It looks like they will get the baton first. Oak Park, River Forest out in lane number 9 in first. On the home straightaway now, Oak Park and River Forest, followed by the purple pack that is Collinsville and Harvey Thornton. We're going to go to this next exchange. It was Oak Park on the first handoff, and it looks like it's going to be Thornton. Looks like we had some back to the front on the back stretch. That is Harvey Thornton. Now coming into the middle with the powder blue and white, that's East St. Louis. And it looks like it's Collinsville again. Trying to squeeze back into it. We have Harvey Thornton, followed by East St. Louis. Now here comes DeKalb. DeKalb, we know it's going to be Harvey Thornton, but second is going to be pretty close to call DeKalb and East St. Louis. East St. Louis and DeKalb is close for second. Oak Park will round out fourth. Heat number 3 underway. Tough to call. We're going to go with O'Fallon. The Panthers in the middle, along with Belleville West, the Maroons. We're going to go to the first exchange here. Belleville West, followed by the Maroons and Gurney Warren, the Bulldogs, the Blue Devils. rather. Here comes Belleville West. That is St. Rita on the outside in lot 9. Good exchange. That was O'Fallon, the Panthers, with some room. Now here comes Belleville West on your back stretch. Moving well. And we'll go to the final exchange. Frem now into the mix along with the Tigers of Plainfield North, and they're off. Palatine Frem, the Maroons, the Panthers, and the Vikings now on the home straightaway. Maroons, here comes the Vikings. We're going to have a race here towards the end. Can they hold them off? The Vikings of Palatine Frem will go 5, 6, 7, 4. Belleville West, Frem, O'Fallon, and Plainfield North. We need the coach from Chicago, Simeon, to the clerk's tent immediately. We need the coach from Chicago, Simeon, to the clerk of course immediately. Lane 5, the Tigers of Edwardsville. They'll be handing off to their second leg. Fonte Davis of Edwardsville was that first leg for Edwardsville. Our second leg here. Now that's Schaumburg and the ZBs. Shandell Thomas for the ZBs. Handing off is going to be Schaumburg, followed by the ZBs. And they're off once again. Schaumburg, they have been making noise around the state throughout the 2014 campaign, as you can clearly see here. Edwardsville in second. This is their third leg. Brian Crow for the Tigers, handing off to the anchor along with Schaumburg. Winnie Perry of Edwardsville in Schaumburg's anchor leg. McMillan of Schaumburg. Again, the record is 125.98. And it's Schaumburg all alone. Redemption after the 4x1. It's going to be extremely close. Tigers is second, followed by the ZBs from my vantage point here in third. And a clean start here for our final heat of the 4x2. In the middle, Plainfield East, Christian Glass, the junior, out there moving well. Palatine, Cam Cornelius, the junior. Looks like he will probably be in the hunt to make this first exchange here. We'll go to the middle, Bradley Bourbonnais. That's Raquel Green. And it looks like it's Bradley Bourbonnais. That was Raquel Green giving off to Daniel Harris. Now that's Palatine. River Crane. Close in there is Fox Grant, Jeremy Breadwood. Farrar of York moving well, and we'll go to the exchange. Fox Grant, York, and looks like Palatine. Palatine, York on the inside. This is the third leg for the Dukes. This is Greg Gornick, the senior. He's in the lead now, leading all legs. Going into the third one on the outside, Palatine. That's Lamont Griffin. And we'll go here to the final exchange. A good exchange for York, a good exchange for Fox Lake Grant. And some interesting things happening along the way. Oh, it is York. Followed by Palatine and Bradley Bourbonnais. And now Fox Grant. York will win this one right out, and it's a battle for third. Plainfield East, Grant and Palatine. It looks like it's going to be Bradley Bourbonnais, Plainfield East, and the rest. But again, a righteous 4 legs for York.
Middle of this race is Sam Bransby, a senior for Naperville Central. And he's looking good. Moving up the stagger on the back stretch. That's Bransby of Naperville Central. Holman Flossmoor Spearman in lane number 4. And as we look at them come around, that is Homewood Flossmoor and Ifeani on the outside for Elk Grove Village. Here comes Bransby through the middle with Espinoza on the outside and Ifeani. And the win is going to go to Hinsdale Central. Naperville Central, Sam Bransby. Then Espinoza of Nequa. 49 flat for Bransby of Naperville Central. Let's see if NUO can bring it home for Homewood Flossmoor. On the outside, Quinton Nash running strong for Crete Moni. And UO moving up on the stagger. Inside of him, Jack Feeney, St. Charles North. As they come past the scoreboard. 150 to go. It's NUO with the lead, followed by Bloomington. That's Jonathan Warren, and then you have Quinton Nash. Nash trying to close it on Matt NUO. And the win to Homewood Flossmoor in this race. The record in this event, 46:51, was set nearly 30 years ago by Harold Leonard of Chicago Mount Carmel. Out strong is Wilson of Manuka and Davis of East St. Louis. There's your 1-2, the stagger made up. You look at that top 4 group. In the middle, you've got East St. Louis's Davis, and pulling in with him is Wilson of Manuka. Manuka and East St. Louis now even. Chris Wilson and Roosevelt Davis starting to fade. Chris Wilson with the win, 5-6-4. 4 is Brad Walter of Cary Grove, but the win to Chris Wilson, Manuka. On the back stretch, you see Montgomery, and then outside of him, it's Corey Hertz of the Lakes.
Lakes
the Lakes Eagles. And coming on the inside is Montgomery for Plainfield Central. And Montgomery's going to straighten it out. Plainfield Central to the lead. Outside of him, Corey Hertz and Alex Schulga. Now coming up on the inside, Carl Clam, Evanston. And the win is going to go 5 and then 4 and 6 and 7. Montgomery and Clam, followed by Hertz and Schulga. The win, Montgomery 47-39.
And we're off.
Nice with the jump in 3.
That's a good jump by lane number 3, Michael Saxon of Cary Grove. Maxwell Roberts of Libertyville. We're in the middle. It looks like Pillowed of Glenbard South. We come up to 4 more barriers in the middle. Lane number 5, that's Luke of Glenbard South. Followed closely by Libertyville, Maxwell Roberts. Now in the mix of Lake Forest and Danville. Looks like it's going to be 5-6-4. Pilladod, Augustin, and Roberts. Your 1, 2, 3. A clean start, everyone even after the blocks. Over the hurdles first, that's going to give it to 6 Jarvis Hill, the senior of the Dukes of York, and he's still leading the way after 2 barriers completed. We're on the curve right now. It's going to be now the Tigers of Malchi. TF North now in the mix, so we go Edwardsville, the Dukes of York, and the Thornton Fractional North. Edwardsville now in the lead. The Tigers. Here comes Thornton Fractional North. Don't count out Jarvis Hill just yet. He's going to be 3rd. Tigers, Thornton Fractional North, and the Tigers. More methodical over the barriers. He will clean through Saturday. Malchi 38-24 for Edwardsville. Mache, a great jump from Lane. Markowitz. Also there, Belleville East, William Session, the sophomore. We're going into the middle now with Craig James, the senior of the Tigers from Edwardsville. Mache, Markowitz. Craig James of Edwardsville. We come down now to the final 3 barriers. It's going to be Craig James. Markowitz there, now coming in Naperville Central and Bloomington. Bloomington now leading the charge. Is going to be tight here over the last barrier for Bloomington, and the Tigers very close to call 5-4. Thank goodness for fully automatic timing. We'll go to the board here in just a second.
Markowitz got taken out by a hurdle.
And they're still sorting it out. It'll be James, 39-64. How close behind in second? And we're off here. Connor Durham, again, the section leader, 37.92 last week. Amani Payton now leads the charge, and here comes Connor Durham. Also there, Plainfield North, N.L. Williams. And we're going to have three now. Williams from the Tigers now leading the charge. Connor Durham, Amani Payton, and the Tigers there. These two battled it out at sectionals last week. Payton now. It looks like it's going to be Payton. The last barrier is going to be Payton, Connor Durham, and Williams. Payton, Durham, Williams, 1, 2, 3.
And onto the track, heat 1 of 3 in the 3A 1600. In Super Rally 1, Position 1, John Danner of South Elgin, Adam Scherson of Warren, Sam O. of Stevenson, from Palatine, Graham Brown, from Plainfield South, Dan Lathrop, and from New Trier, Peter Katsiris. In Super Rally 2, Dan Curtin of Riverside Brookfield, Tommy Kolacki of Lincoln Way, Kagan Smith of Huntley, Patrick Human of Libertyville, Jack O'Neill of Hersey, Luke Schroer of Wheaton Warrenville, and Alex Bashquawi of Elmhurst York. Bashquawi leads all competitors in this heat with 4:16.49 from his sectional run last week.
At the bottom of the Super Alley, yeah, central.
And a tight field as they make the break. Graham Brown from Palatine is just ahead of the pack, at the head of the pack. He's a junior. Sam O of Stevenson right there in the mix. He's a junior. And then on the outside, that's Bashquawi of York. And Luke Schroer of Wheaton Warrenville South. And Adam Scherson, Pat Human from Libertyville, running for the Cats. 65 was the 400. And leading the pack, it's Palatine's Graham Brown. He's about 3 yards ahead of the field. And Bashquawi now moves into second. And Luke Schroer of Wheaton Warrenville, he's in the orange over black. Still a very tight field.
13 is in 6th position, no, 3.
Sam O of Stevenson, running out of Lake County, still in that lead group.
York now trying to move into second along with 12.
That Schroer on the shoulder of Bashquawi. They're 2:11. Palatine still holds the lead, but very, very tight. Human at the rail from Libertyville, running comfortably in third. It's still a very tight pack. No one is broken away from the main group.
4, 13, 12, and 10, and 5.
Graham Brown, Bashquawi, followed by Human of Libertyville.
And 5.
Dan Lathrop now of Plainfield South. He comes into play.
Everybody's still licking.
And he's coming to the outside. 5 to the outside.
Lathrop coming to the outside from Plainfield.
1,200 meters coming
Coming up to the 3/4, Plowman now takes the lead. Plowman running for Sam Ruddle and the Dukes of Elmhurst York. Plowman takes the lead at the bell.
The 2 runner is a Trevian. Yep, he's
And now into second.
6 runners.
We've got Peter Katsirius.
And he's going to the outside and has the lead.
And Peter Katsirilis from New Trier now has the lead with Plowman in second. That's Plainfield South, Lathrop in third. It's New Trier and York coming out of the north turn. Katsirilis of New Trier, and here goes Plowman of York. This is a sprint right to the finish. That's Plowman of Elmhurst York, or Bashquawi. That's Bashquawi of Elmhurst York. Katsirilis of New Trier.
Looks like he's going to be better, but there was Stevenson.
Bashquawi of York, 4:15.67. Katsirilis of New Trier, 4:15.85. Lathrop of Plainfield, 4:18.86. Onto the track. Heat 2 of 3. We have Patrick Perrier of O'Fallon, Angel Estrada of Highland Park, Joseph Emmanuel of Wheaton North, Zach Smith of Downers North, Bryce Richards of Mundelein, Ryan Clevenger of Downers Grove North. Then we have in Alley 2 Connor Medell of Lyons Township, Johnny Leverins of Danville, Kerry Gishtwinder of Naperville North, Billy Magnuson of Hinsdale Central, Connor Horn of Nequa Valley, Dennis O'Callahan of Orland Park, and Chris Korobik of St. Ignatius College Prep. Second call, 200-meter dash. Second call. Clevenger, Downers North at the rail, followed by Perrier of O'Fallon and Korobek of St. Ignatius into the lead. That's at 200 meters. Magnuson of Hinsdale Central appears not to be in the field this afternoon. We've issued a second call for the 200 meters. That's Korobik of St. Ignatius and Perrier of O'Fallon. Clevenger on the outside of Downers North. And we've got Zach Smith, his teammate, running for the Trojans of Downers Grove North from the West Suburban Silver Division. Perrier of O'Fallon, the Panthers, he's a senior, planning to run at Stanford next year.
One in the lead, one with 6.
And Clevenger running in second. There's Korobik of St. Ignatius in third.
4 is 4.
And Zach Smith of Downers Grove North now moving into third.
5 is 5th.
And Bryce Richards of Mundelein running from Lake County North Suburban Conference. And here comes a competitor in yellow. That would be Nequa Connor Horn, sophomore, and Leverins on the outside. They're in the middle of the pack. Leverins from Danville. 2:10 approximately at the halfway mark. Perrier still at the head of the field. Clevenger runs second. At the rail, Chris Korobek of St. Ignatius and O'Callahan of Sandburg, the Eagles, now moves into second. And following him, Johnny Leverins of Danville. We've got 500 meters left in this race. Here comes Korobek, now moving into second. Perrier of O'Fallon, Korobek with 400 meters to go. They're about 3:11 at the 1200. Patrick Perrier of O'Fallon. He's your leader. Chris Korobek of St. Ignatius, he runs second. Johnny Leverins of Danville is third. Believe that's Clevenger making a move.
Yeah, 4 and 6. 4 first, then 6. 4 coming up on Leverins right now.
And Zach Smith now coming on Leverins from Downers Grove North.
Smith into second.
Smith is now into second. Turning for home, that's Patrick Perrier. And a whole pack. Leverins trying to come up on Perrier. That's Perrier, Korobek, Leverins.
Close to second. Ignatius the possible second.
Ignatius a possible second.
There it is.
Perrier 4:14.11. Korobek 4:14.8. Leverins was third, 4:14.87. O'Callahan fourth, 4:14.94. Smith was fifth, 4:14.95.
Big lead there at the beginning for number 3.
That's Jake Hoffert of Yorkville taking the pace out. Reeser of McHenry and Dorian Gordon of O'Fallon. Zach Dale of Conant. He's running well.
New second place is 11.
David Schmieg of Lane Tech.
Now 5 in second.
And now moving into second is Jesse Reeser of McHenry, the Warriors. He's on the inside. Jake Hofford of Yorkville, 62 and change at the 400 meters. He's about 10 meters ahead of the rest of the field. McHenry runs second. Jesse Reeser being a junior.
All right, new second here is 5. We got 5:12.13.
He's followed by Chafe Silverman of New Trier, Zach Dale of Hoffman Estates, and Dorian Gordon of O'Fallon.
Behind them is 9.
Behind them Ryan Hanselman of Naperville North.
And they moved up a little bit on 5 for 3.
But leading still Jake Hoffert of Yorkville. The pack is closing just ever so slightly on Jake Hoffert.
Hofford was a key runner in Yorkville's cross-country team championship last fall.
Hoffert, a key runner in the state championship of Yorkville last fall in Class 2A. His qualifying mark is 4:20, and here comes the rest of the field. Here comes Reeser of McHenry and Zach Dale of Conant now into the lead. Hoffert drops to 3rd. Schmig is in 6th from Lane Tech.
12 is in 5th. That's the Silverman runner for
New Trier, it's Chase Silverman. He's in 5th.
And Dorian
Now there's 6 competitors in this lead group. And Dorian Gordon of O'Fallon now to the outside. They're at 3:15. We've got a pack of 6 runners. It's still anyone's race. That's McHenry at the rail, Jesse Reeser.
into the backstretch.
And onto the backstretch.
Is 5:13.
It's Reeser followed by Dale and Gordon of O'Fallon
12 to the outside behind 1.
and Silverman of New Trier. 5 runners now. Here comes Silverman on the very outside. Final 100 meters. Let's bring him home, ladies and gentlemen.
Looking to the outside now. Here's Yorkville.
Here comes Yorkville. He's coming back.
Holford.
It's Holford, Yorkville.
Third.
It's Reeser, McHenry.
Over into
It's
second.
Reeser.
It's gonna be
It's Reeser,
and then Conant.
McHenry, and Conant. Zach Dale. Reeser's time 4:16 and 6. Dale was second at 4:16.78. Holfert third, 4:16.81. Silverman fourth, 4:17.26. Gordon was fifth at 4:18.27. Very, very fast heat.
Clean start. First race of the 200 to 4. Montgomery Plainfield Central with Barrington's Miller. There's Plainfield Central in the middle. Kamari Montgomery. Miller running well for Barrington on the inside. You got Gant. This one's going to go 5.63. We have a flag on the turn. So the results unofficial. Race number 2 in the middle is Josh Farrar. And outside of him, you got to watch Booker and Hilton. Farrar. And you've got Geneva's Rolls right now. You've got Hilton, now Booker of Grayslake. And we've got 6 coming and 3 as well with John Hayter of Maine South. This one is different than what was predicted. All right, Cole Henderson trying to make it to another final for Pekin. And there's Henderson straightening it out. Once again, Henderson with Booz on the outside for Huntley. But Chicago, there's Schaumburg and Thomas. It'll be close. 5 and then 3. 5 is Cole Henderson. Coach of Glenbard West to the clerk's tent. Coach of Glenbard West to the clerk's tent. Nice start for Jonathan Roberts of Zion Benton. Again, Bloomington is the freshman favorite here. Outside of him, you've got McGee of North Lawndale, and then you also have Hunt trying to come on. Bloomington has moved to the front. The win will go to the Raiders from the Big 12 Conference. Kerry Lockhart. Freshman with a 21.78. All right, race number 1 is underway. Evanston. They're in lane number 7. In 5. In 7 is Manuka. Manuka wearing the orange headbands. We look at the 4x400 out of the sectionals. Evanston with a 3:19.17. East St. Louis is going to lead the field with a 3:16.45 when we get to them. In the middle, you got Evanston. There's Belleville West running very strong and moving up. And then on the outside, Glenbard West. Very respectable as we go into the 3-turn stagger. Let's check it out. There is Belleville West clear in front with Glenbard West, your 1-2. On the inside, you've got Evanston with Nutrier as they all dash for the break. It's Belleville West going to battle it out with Lions. And Evanston is 3rd. Belleville West right now for the Maroons. This is Chris Jackson. For Nutrier, you've got Connor Trapp. For Evanston, Ariman Alagaband. And here we go. Also in there is Lions. That's Trevor Edgerton running in 2nd. Glenbard pulling back up with Ted O. And here we go in the next exchange. It's still Belleville West.
Lions Township, Evanston.
Evan Alcorn with Lions Township. Alex Lima and Evanston's Roman Hayes. Glenbard West continues to push. Jack Moore coming up. Now that top three is still it's still Belleville and then Lyons and Evanston. Belleville is Alcorn. And in the middle of them is LaGrange Lyons, Alex Lima. Lima now battling with Evanston's Roman Hayes. Manuka now into fourth. Here we go with the anchors. It's still Belleville West. In there is Dominic Davis for the Maroons. Lyons is second with Matt Grider. And that's still Evanston in the 3 spot. Their anchor is Carl Clam. Manuka leads the next group. Manuka is Chris Wilson. Not much left to try to catch the top 3, although Wilson is trying. To the outside is Evanston and Carl Clam. Clam now trying to get it up on top, but here comes Wilson for Manuka. Wilson probably is going to come in second. This one's going to go to Evanston. Evanston, then Manuka, Belleville, and Lyons Township. Great effort on the come from behind by Manuka. The win, though, to Evanston Township. All right. Clean start again. Naperville Central. Red Hawks in the middle. They're wearing white over red. Next to them is Edwardsville with the orange over black, orange shoes. And lane number 9, Oak Park River Forest, really jumping out on this one. They're white over blue. Lake Villa coming up very strong. That's Corey Hertz. Corey Hertz in there. Oak Park River Forest is Sebastian Johnson. Corey Hertz with Edwardsville and Fontez Davis. It's still Corey Hertz blasting through. We watch the exchange. First it's Edwardsville, then it is the Lakes. Edwardsville and the Naperville Central into third. Matthew Meyer now running for Naperville Central. For the Lakes, it's Brandon Thiel. As they come around and pass the break, Edwardsville, you've got Craig James battling with, is that still the Lakes out there in the lead? And Thornton, we knew Thornton was going to go right into the mix.
And then
Naperville Central after that. Brandon Thiel running for the Lakes. For Thornton, the second runner is Deontay McDaniel. Now Edwardsville pushes for the lead, and Craig James. It is still the Lakes. Oh, so close. Here's Edwardsville pulling even. Watch the exchange. Edwardsville first, the Lakes trying to stay on the rail. The Lakes will pass them. In there for the Eagles. The third runner is Alex Murray for the Lakes. Edwardsville, number 3 is Brian Crow. And Naperville Central holding on to third, Michael Jopes. We got a fourth coming up here, right behind Naperville. That must be Oswego East, Justin Augustin. Thornton has faded back into fifth. The Lakes, Edwardsville, Naperville Central, Oswego East, Thornton, Wheaton North, Batavia. Here's your order. Naperville Central, Michael Jopes trying to get the advantage back for the Red Hawks, and Jopes has the handoff. Right behind them, Edwardsville and the Lakes. The anchor and Oswego East. The anchor for Naperville Central is Sam Bransby. Wheaton North in this right now. And for the Falcons, their anchor is Stephen Connor. Edwardsville, you have Renee Perry. It's still Naperville Central's race. Sam Bransby coming into the curve. Behind them, the Lakes, Jake Baliu. is the anchor. They're going to bring him home. 304, 305, Naperville Central is there, and I think they've got enough on the lead, even though here comes the Lakes into second. And Jake Ballou. The win again to the favorite, Naperville Central at 3:19. The Lakes, then Edwardsville, Wheaton North, and Thornton, 3:18.17 for Naperville Central, 3:19.96 for the Lakes.
Eight teams in this field. Wheaton Warrenville South off to a nice lead with Josh Pruder. He's a junior running for the Tigers. Nequa Valley runs Kyle Bender, also a junior. They're from lane 5. Looking good at this point.
Still Wheaton Warrenville.
And Palatine Fremd. Kyle Lewis runs for Fremd. And Crete Moni coming up on the inside. Quinton Nash runs for the Warriors of Crete Moni. Kerry Grove still into the mix at the first exchange. It's Crete Moni at the first exchange. Terrace Simmons runs for Crete Moni. Wheaton Warrenville South. Matt Brocius. And they're breaking on the far side of the track. Crete Moni. Kerry Grove into second. Michael Saxon runs for Kerry Grove. We've got Elgin. We've got Loyola. That's a new third. That's John Miller. In fourth, that's Wheaton Warrenville South, Matt Brocius. And then Nequa. Here comes Nequa. Crete Moni, Loyola, and Nequa coming to the second exchange. Nequa now battling for the lead. That's Crete Moni, your leader. Joanne Treadwell. Nequa is second. Kerry Grove is third. Running for Kerry Grove, that's Daniel Spear. Nick Rafis runs for Nequa. Crete Moni, your leader. That's Joanne Treadwell. And Loyola now in fourth. Crete Moni. And now Nequa. Nequa.
36-31 for Nequa.
That's Nequa Valley, Nick Rafis.
We're going into the anchors.
Going into the anchors, Wheaton Warrenville battling back.
Nequa
Michael
with their
Nifke.
lead.
That's Nequa and Wheaton Warrenville, followed by Crete and Kerry Grove.
And Loyola.
And then there's Loyola. Nequa Valley into the lead on the anchor for Nequa.
Move right now.
We've got Zach Espinoza.
4 into second.
Into second, Crete Moni. On the anchor for Crete, Christian Stewart. Turning for home. That's Nequa and Crete. Nequa Valley and Crete Moni. And here comes Kerry Grove. Kerry Grove, Brad Walter running for Kerry Grove. Nequa Valley. Crete Moni, Kerry Grove, Wheaton Warrenville South, Loyola Academy.
Runner for Fremd had a pull-up on the anchor.
Runner from Fremd, your Fremd anchor, Joanne Gaines, appeared to pull up short and hobble across the finish. That's Nequa Valley, 3:18.61. The final race of the afternoon for 3A competitors.
Barrington, nice start.
Nice start by Barrington from lane 3, Brandon Melchunik. running for the Broncos. And the middle of the track for East St. Louis, Joanne Askew, East St. Louis senior, ran 3:16.45 in the state prelims with Barrington. And Homewood Flossmoor, Emmanuel Spearman, running for the Vikings of Homewood. They're in the lead. Grant looks good. Octavian Wells, the sophomore from Grant, running a nice opening leg.
And so HF is first.
Homewood Flossmoor at the first exchange.
With
Rodney Johnson, East St. Louis,
Fox Lake Grant.
Roosevelt Davis, and Grant. Kamar Miller runs for Grant. Now to the front, it's East St. Louis, the Flyers of East St. Louis.
Through the field and hits the
And Homewood Flossmoor in second, Grant in third,
and fourth is
Palatine in fourth. East St. Louis senior, it's Roosevelt Davis, well ahead of the pack. Roosevelt Davis. Here comes Barrington. Homewood Flossmoor hanging on. Barrington, then Palatine, Grant. That's Palatine now in third. East St. Louis well ahead of the field. Kevin Johnson, a sophomore from East St. Louis. Homewood Flossmoor runs second. Matt Simpson. In third, that's Palatine, Gavin Falatico, and Kamar and Jeremy Breedwood runs for Grant.
Fox Lake Grant and Normal Community West.
Normal Community West, then the next team in the field. To the anchor leg. East St. Louis, it's Herbert Moulton. He's a freshman on the anchor. Grant now moves into second. Kyle Haddon runs for Grant. Palatine now challenging for second. Jimmy Jones. Homewood Flossmoor into second. Matt Aniwo into second. Grant holds for third. But turning out of the north turn with 100 meters remaining, the Flyers of East St. Louis and Herbert Moulton, a freshman, he's coming home. Homewood Flossmoor now in second. Grant in third. Normal Community West in fourth. 3:17 for the win. They're followed by Palatine. 3:17.01 for East St. Louis senior. 3:19.96 for Homewood Flossmoor. Fox Lake Grant 3:20.67.